Character SXM, a deep dive Sundays. Mr. T and Friends. Character SXM, a deep dive Sundays. Mr. T and Friends.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.
Wow. Girl, I love to feel it gripping. Pulling. Girl, I love to feel it clamping. Clamping. Girl, I love it. When you work your pussy muscle. Girl, I love it when you work your pussy muscle. Wow.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? We begin with the news of the Dutch Quarter sewage situation. The government decided to be brave and go and have a meeting with the community of Dutch Quarter, where they had to air their differences, their opinion on what is happening with Dutch Quarter. We have the highlights of that particular meeting. It was very interesting, so we're going to share that with you today on the late night. And just take a look and listen.
You also said, and I understand that you are hopeful. You was hopeful. You also said that you guys are sitting and having meetings and all of these things to figure out what is the best way to remedy the challenges at Pump 3. But I just want to understand. Yes. Until such remedy has been found and put into place, we can expect sewage water to continue running in the trenches and then by extension continue to have sewage water running to the northern side of the island. And now I have a question to follow up, and this one is specifically for the Minister. Minister, how do you intend to deal with whatever repercussions or consequences that may come if the front side decide they're going to look into this matter, or they get upset because they find out that we have sewage water running to the front side? And I understand that we're not doing this purposely, it's just, the persons who built these pumps back in the day who are not here anymore did this, and we have to deal with it. How do we handle that later on?
Look, the thing is, we know we have a problem and we're working on it. We are seeing, yes, the sewage is running from Pit Street back down to the buffer zone down there, and we are pumping it. We have water constantly running in the trench from Bishop and any other place in the trench, but we are containing it at the bottom by Pit Street via the buffer, the basin that is in place down there. Yes, the basin is on the Dutch side.
Talking about the money When you talked about the 2 million that was ordered by the court, that you're referring to Windward Roads in the case against Mr. Heiliger that resulted Windward Roads to do 2 million of works. How much of that money was destined for Dutch Quarter? What kind of projects Windward Roads had to execute here? And why has it not been done, if it hasn't been done? And who decided on the 2 million, what went where, and how was this money distributed? And then, Mr. Duran, you talked about the 10th EDF, the European Development Fund. The 10th EDF is from a few years ago. In the meantime, there's an 11th EDF, and that money stream has ended. How can you still use the money from the 10th EDF for this project? So my question is actually, how much money is at the moment available for Dutch Quarter for 2023 to solve this problem? And how much is needed? So you talk about 15 million, where is this money coming from? How much is for this year? How much is directly available to solve the problem? And another question, the sewage that you're pumping right now, those truckloads, where is this sewage going?
I'll start with the last one. I hope I can remember the first one in its entirety. The sewage water that is being pumped right now is being just carried to the wastewater treatment plant. Secondly, with respect to the whole verdict, I'm not going to go into the intricacies or the details of it, but as I mentioned, we had a priority list. We started with the Fogar and Phillipsburg West, those were the priorities, and based on the fact that we had our challenges with said contractor, we had to end the contract. In consultation with the department, coming up with ideas, we decided to reprioritize the remaining works to focus on Dutch Quarter in order to bring us to the point where we need to be to continue with the EDF funds. That's what I explained earlier, and I also explained it during several media outlets, but I just went more in details here today.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Thomas, for your question. Right now, we have a situation at hand that, of course, we have to deal with first. So we are purchasing 2 additional pumps. We have 2 additional pumps that are adequate for this particular purpose of pumping sewage over there. Luckily, we have them available on the island. One has to have a minor repair because of a cable issue, but the pumps, both of them are brand new pumps. This is something that by hopefully within the next couple of days, this transaction can be round and the pumps can be installed. This will provide an immediate solution, as well as what Mr. Benjamin indicated about the immediate fix that needs to happen with Pin-Tree. Because Pin-Tree is in a state that it needs some repairs. This also needs to be done simultaneously. Now, what was the second part of the question? Is your question? Location in the future when the project start back, where are we going to put that in the time that we have like the road, but we don't want to update. We have a spot where we can put that, and we're going to continue updating. Because we don't replace the cost, right? But we can't continue pumping up the hill. We have to go down and see. Okay. Well, Minister touched base on that briefly a moment ago. There are new technologies available that does not require as much space. So we're looking for for space. Actually, we're looking for space at the lowest point, the lowest collection point, so that the entire untouched water can flow with gravity to the lowest point. And then from this lowest point, the water will be treated to produce an effluent quality that is similar to purified water, so to speak. Okay, water that can be reused for irrigation purposes, to water football fields, palm trees, of the works. So we're exploring different locations where this lowest point in such an installation can take place, along with the new technologies that are available that does not require so much space, because there's no secret that St. Martin, we don't have this abundance of space, even compared to Frankside, who has much more space than we have to do different types of installations.
So on that particular issue, we can try to take over this whole process. That will take place then.
Just to give some clarity, I think what we're doing is mixing a bunch of different things. The idea, as we mentioned when we went to the Netherlands, to find a more practical modern-day solution, so to speak, which requires much less land. This has nothing to do with the current contractor and the finishing of this project. It's two totally separate things. And as I mentioned, we have put on the capital expenditure budget on a multi-annual basis, 15 million guilders that goes 100% into wastewater treatment.
So with the rain, the place get a total mess. So at least temporarily, we're supposed to have a solution to cover back these roads until the project starts back. Because what is going to take place now, a lot of the houses are hooked up to that, the sewage that can be put there illegally, and water is going in those sewage pipes, going to where we don't know where. Okay? And it's causing a mess. Okay, so that whole sewage thing going up the hill right now is only for one side of the road. So what about the other side of the road? We're going to dig back up the road again to that other side, because it won't be totally the upper touch water. It's only going to be the left side coming up. It's hooked up on that sewage line. So what are we going to do moving forward so we don't have to dig up, pay, to do all of these things over? And God said it the last time, He put a drawing up on the wall. We did everything. We went through this already 100 times. We don't want to be getting full here in Dutchwater. I'm really getting tired. I'm a civil servant also, but really, it's a problem for us in Dutchwater. Quilter Drive, right? The dig up Quilter Drive, right? My father had to call a backhoe. It's the roads. He got there. Every time he going there with his school bus, is a problem. Really, it's really a problem. The trenches in Dutchwater, we have to get people to clean trenches. We are not getting more assistance here in Dutchwater. It's for a point that we are fed up. And every time you guys come here, we feel like we're getting food. They can be nice and dining enough to the boss out, we're going to forget about it. You understand? Something needs to take place because the place is a mess. Our shit doesn't move in that sewage line. It doesn't benefit me. That sewage thing doesn't benefit me at all. So, if anything, you pump that down in there that we don't have nothing coming through Dutchwater. Leave that down there. You really need that down there because it is causing a problem for us. When the lines used to be working good, we used to get a cent from 98. Okay? We had that problem from the beginning. So now what's going to happen now, we're going to put pumps there. When the new contractor comes now, we're going to hook back up to the same sewage lines again. And then we can get the same problem. Okay? It need to stop. It's impossible. God knows the situation. I have asked God every day about this. Every day, God knows me very well. What are we doing? What are we doing? You understand? Understand the situation with Family God. They do extra work. Because I used to talk to the guys at Family God. We even blocked the road in Dutchwater concerning certain problems. It doesn't seem like we have to do that again. Because nothing is coming out of this. They dig up the road and leave it. The main road, there's so much holes going up Dutchwater Road. They do one part of the road, it's like you're going through the dump road or something and you do. Come on. It's impossible. Government is overlooking those projects and they flow that road that kind of way. The road have all kind of that box there. There's no way you can drive on a normal way to say you will get a nice road. Temporarily give us something to drive on. We resurface all over, let's resurface Dutch Quarter until we ready to start the project. The sidewalks need to get fixed. There's a lot of sidewalks still not done. I went to Charlotte, I said, we have little asphalt and zombie yard that we take out in the road. Okay, we don't want to throw concrete on the road. Throw the little asphalt we take when the sun hit it will come back, it will stick good for now. You understand? We cannot be trying that. We can't be trying that.
All right. Thank you, Stefan. I understand your frustration to the fullest extent. I'm not saying that just to say that, and I want to make something explicitly clear so that there's no misunderstanding. I definitely come here to fool nobody. 100%. I'm here because I want to look at a solution. I'm here because I get the complaints too. Ms. Jones, every day, like a prayer every morning, Ms. Jones reminds me of the situation that is taking place. She and her and many others. So I want to guarantee you one thing. This is not a meeting to pacify, to cool calm, definitely not. I want a solution, and I want the community to be involved in the solution, and I want to explain the community step by step all the steps that we are taking. As I mentioned, right now at this point, simultaneously, there are 3 different major things taking place in order for us to. There are 3 major things taking place in order for us to come to a solution. It's not only Dutch Quarter, but I'm talking holistically. The 15 million that I mentioned, the pumps that we're also busy with to deal with rainwater flooding, and also the vertical system. You mentioned the last point, and I wasn't going to bring it up here, but I think I have to bring it up here, where you mentioned that why don't the wastewater stay in Belvedere and it doesn't benefit Dutch Quarter. I've had lengthy discussions with Mr. Pompier, especially after seeing the minimal, it still requires space, but the minimal space it requires to have the modular system installed. And we are exploring the option of having it in Belvedere in order to deal with that situation. However, I'm throwing that out there because I'm just trying to explain to you that we are multi-levels looking for solutions. This here is a solution meeting, and I'm ready to, and I'm committing, because I'm here already, I'm committing to give regular updates as to the steps and how far we're reaching in terms of progress. So this definitely ain't a meeting to come and pacify and fool, that's for sure.
Further to answer your question, Stefan, I've been involved with this project since 1998. I even was involved with the construction of this center, the Dutch Quarter Community Center. And that gentleman standing behind you, that's the contractor. Even when we started constructing this, the Dutch Quarter contractor, Hanky Jam, this too was a challenge. Up to now, the Dutch Quarter Community Center is a challenge, and I can go down memory lane because there are still issues with water coming from the area of the hills, and there are challenges. But if you ask yourself, where else could we have constructed the Dutch Quarter Community Council? And I'll ask that question to even to Mr. Hanky Jam. The Martin Luther King School, and that school too was constructed in 1997. And government, as a matter of fact, government would not own no land in Dutch Quarter. So it was a challenge, and government made it happen that the children of Dutch Quarter could attend school in Dutch Quarter, and that the Dutch Quarter could have its own community center. That Ms. Hodge runs on a daily basis and is very proud of. So the point I want to bring across is everybody could sit in here and laugh and say this and say that, but I will take the responsibility of it because, and also with my colleagues, it has not been an easy way because nowhere in the world do people pump sewage over the hill. It was a challenge. It still is a challenge because of the limited availability of land in the area. And indeed, like Minister Durham, we are heading towards a solution because the best way, the best option is to run sewage through gravity. The St. Peter's Main Road is hooked up to the sewage plant. Do you ever have any problems on there? No, because it runs through gravity. Miller Richard is also, you have also sewage lines in the main road. The sewage runs to the lowest area over where Dr. Bryson, my God, rest in blessing, there resides. And and then it is pumped up. But this area here, it has been a challenge, it continues to be a challenge. And like all my colleagues say, it's like a nightmare for them, the whole situation with the pumpings. And indeed, I mean, they could have outlived the time because they have been here for like some 25 years. And indeed, when this project was implemented, certain cost-cutting measures were put in place, which has led to where we are now. So it is a challenge for us. We are aware of the problems. So I think some people who come here want to laugh and to make mockery, but it is our responsibility as government to make sure that the District of Dutch Quarter has proper underground sewage, underground cabling, etc. And we are in contact with our counterparts from the French side. They are aware that we are having challenges. So, and also we also embarking on a joint cooperation project with them in Colby area to construct a joint sewage plant. And like our Minister Dillon mentioned, we are looking into the option of constructing a modular system on the lower end so that in the end, the sewage water will go from true gravity to a lower lying area. But what you all have to understand too is St. Martin, besides St. Thomas, is the second country in the Caribbean that has so much hills. And we fail to understand that. And it is really a challenge. And I'll give you a good example. For example, take for example the Netherlands. The Netherlands is practically flat. And if you would know the Netherlands, you could pump switch from Rotterdam to Zuid-Limburg. Basically, with pumps. The pumps basically, how a pump system work is that when you have to pump switch up the hill, the pump has to have sufficient capacity. But in the case of flat land, you can pump, you don't need much capacity because the difference in the height could be about 2 to 4 feet. But here we are talking about pumping the sewage from the lowest point, down where Miss Matilda lived, by pumping to, or even let's say by the roundabout, to the highest point. That's something, an average of about 80 feet. 80 feet. 80 meters.
You see, he was involved with this since 1998. Why does it take the minister now to come up with this idea? You sit against so many other ministers who are here, and you didn't advise them that doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? You said that you've been here for so many years, you construct this, many, you do this, you do that. The young minister he come with a brilliant idea. I just want to see it come to fruit now. You understand? When you sit there with a lot of ministers, and you didn't advise them properly, you went ahead with the stupidness what was going over the head. I'll be honest with you, God. I respect you, but you well know that it wouldn't have worked, and you should have said something there. That's why I respect the minister and his young staff of doing a good job. I'll be honest with you.
I have one question just to add on what Steve said, because I don't believe you are getting the full picture. When Quilter Driving was a culvert as well, who instructed them to put 2 8-inch pipes that where a culvert was that you could walk through? Big as that go there. If Kurt just said, we have 2 issues in St. Thomas and St. Martin, that means when the water come down the hill, it comes down with the force, it comes down with dirt, it comes down with leaves, bottles, everything. Right now those pipes have been down for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. That is impossible. Now you're not being painted the picture that you're supposed to see. So I help you a little bit on this one. Here's the reason why. EDF 9 was the big drain, right, Kurt? EDF 9 was the big drain in Dutch Quarter. When rain falls, water does not go in that drain. In your introduction, you said Dutch Quarter doesn't flood anymore. Ask the residents when it rains, what happens? The water does not flow in that drain. You know why? The road is become bold. That's problem number 1. Because now, before we even think about sewage, we got to think about the rainfall. Because rain does fall. So let's forget about the sewage for 1 second. Let me look at EDF 9. It needs to be redone. Minister, question to you. Now, you are not the constant. May not just identify that, but there is constants on your panel. Who allowed that? Where was the check and balances for the EDF that was the sewage? Correct? Correct me. 9 was in the original. So what number was the big drain? That was done then. So it needs to be redone. The culvert by Quilty Drive needs to be redone. We have a problem as well from each alley on the right hand side. If you're coming down the hill, the grills need to be cleaned almost every week. When water come out of the alley, boom, it's straight to the road, flood. Flood, flood, flood. The alleys did get dug up. The asphalt showing, the minute stop, I can attest to that. He said it was four trucks, about 4 trucks. When water fall, guess what? The asphalt gone too. So that's not an option. It don't make no sense. Look, Alvindia in a couple of the alleys, no option. It doesn't make sense. We have a lot of serious problems. So before we even start to even look at the sewage, and realize, right, and I'll tell you why she is right. She lives right next to the drain. And for me to go to the road just to talk to her, we can't talk outside. We gotta sit inside of the vehicle to have a conversation. She cannot open her window. I will say it for her because of the sewage that is running. It is unbearable. Minister, I want you to take a walk, maybe tomorrow, if it's even possible. Stand up by Richardson Drive. Don't just stand up by Richardson Drive. The scent is unbearable. We talk about the Martin Luther King School, guess what? Constant. Many of us went here. I went up on the hill and we're not here. The school leaked from the time it built. From the time that school was built, it was leaking. I went on top of the hill and I went here. You start to bring back pants, as they call it, to catch water. When the water come up on the hill, boom, it flooded the entire classroom. I said this also on the floor of Parliament. William Allen Boyce used to teach the 3rd grade. Many of us remember this. My question, Minister, you have a lot on your plate. And I respect for what you have done so far. How are we going to tackle these things structurally in order to better the community that we live in? Because we are affected badly by bad decisions. Just before I end, there's a school up here. This is the only neighborhood that has a school. No speed bumps. They painted a Zayna Park, as they call it, a pedestrian crossing. It disappeared. We need mirrors coming up of South Ferris. There's a lot of accidents. The biggest problem we have right now in Dutch Quarter to add is the lights. The side alleys need lights because it will help when it comes to crime, and it also makes for a better environment. People will at least allow their 10, 12-year-olds to go to the shop. The shops are very close by. But that is not happening. There is no light. So my question, Minister, how do we structurally tackle all of these challenges that we have within the community of Dutch Quarter, but also there needs to be tangible. It can't be, as Stefan was saying, we hear it before, and you are not the constant, so we can't just be like, Minister fine. But we have seen you're trying. So what can you tell us this evening that can make us at least go home, because we're almost over the time as well?
Believe you.
Some sort of feeling that things are going to be different from the last 2016, 18, 15, all the times that a minister came into this center to explain what took place and how they might fix it.
Thank you very much, Preston, for your very passionate explanation as to the situation. And I have quite a simple answer for you with respect to how I plan to tackle it. The way I plan to tackle it is by us working together. It's by us having this dialogue. It's by us having continuous meetings, because we met before. We met before with you and the small team, and we did tackle some of those issues, and we continue to tackle those issues. The only way we can solve this is together, and I look forward to doing that.
Rules that were dug up from the EDF project. I would believe all those side roads are a nuisance right now to drive on. So if there are going to be repairs going Because the meeting I had with you last year I was mostly talking about Gibbs Drive. Yes, you recall?
Yes, I recall.
Okay, so is there going to be like a follow-up with all those side roads being repaired back? Because they're all nuisance, right?
Yes. All of the roads that were dug up form part of the project. As I mentioned, we had to, it's known that we had to end the contract with the previous contractor for different challenges of the experience, but the end goal remains the same. That hasn't changed. We are now in the final stages of negotiating with the new contractor and the OM because of the situation at hand, which I believe that we will come out of that very soon. And this is just for me to come and bring that update here. So yes, indeed, all the roads will be repaired back to their original state.
Are we going to try to wrap up at this time? If there's just allow one or two questions very quickly.
We have a serious garbage problem in Gibbs Drive. People just pass and throw the garbage in the bush. So right now it's horrible. And I think I went to her about the situation already. Nothing.
So you're saying people are dumping that? No, trying to find the best way to say this, but I think that we as a community, should take more pride in our area. I'm going to give you an example. Coming down by Bush Road in the area of Casillas, there's where all the restaurant, then they have a barber shop and all these different things. Where people just stack up garbage like so high. And for months, I've been passing there, but I never noticed it. And my cousin sent me a picture and said, why isn't there a bin there? They say, you can't put a bin there. And he asked, why don't we pick up the garbage here? Because it's on private property the way it's set up. Nevertheless, I instructed the department to clean it all up. It was cleaned up on I think it was a Thursday evening. And by Saturday, it was almost as high as it was for all those months. Now, I think we as a community need to speak out more and start to record your name or whoever doing it. And what I would say, put them on blast, because again, government can't do everything. The reason why we are here is to collectively come up with solutions to work towards things, but that is a neighborhood problem. And I think that with the campaigns and different things that we are trying to do, because we did have a meeting with all the garbage haulers and community representatives a couple months ago in terms of cleanup, based on different activities we wanted to start in the end of March. That was not successful. The goal is to start at the end of May. Nevertheless, these are different initiatives we are trying to bring awareness to African cleanup. I was busy with, I can't remember the organization, but we were busy on a cleanup a couple of months ago. And while we are cleaning up, a truck passed with an old bed, a chair, and some other garbage stuff, and they just dump it up the road, just on the side of the road, no bin, anything. That's life and direct. And I think that is a whole culture, behavioral change that needs to happen. But again, it starts from inside, first and taking the initiative. But besides it being about the tourism, I think for us ourselves, it's really a problem. So I share your sentiment, and again, and I told you if you could get a picture, but please just do it, because that is the only way we can deal with these things.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.